let us go ahead and start the recap. So we're over here over on Twitch doing this recap live. The headline just ended. It was a pretty awesome headline overall, but let's go for it. No duels on roadmap, biggest massive W in video game history. Wait, what? We'll talk about the roadmap as well. I'm probably gonna do a deep dive of the roadmap as well separately for another YouTube video, but we'll talk about the roadmap briefly here and my thoughts and so on and so forth. But roadmap didn't show dual quest. We saw urgent quest colossal boss. We see new type of high difficulty solo quest, masquerade. This is huge. This is massive. I literally was just talking with Skulls about this. To see something like this show back up would be really, really cool. Dual Quest Phase 5 is literally right now, though. Like, we're getting Dual Quest Phase 5 like this month. I guess you could count Dual Quest Phase 5. So, like, yeah. But, like, that's massive. But we're going to get to that. We're jumping the gun a little bit. So let's talk about what we have here for the headline. So, first things first, we'll go to the first set of slides. First set of slides. Come on. Yep, line strike. Super festival. All right. So we have the super festival. It starts on the 1st of this month, or this coming month. And they go through and they show off all the different rewards that we have coming up. So we've got the we have LTQ on the horizon, 2 of them, Twin Horned Raven, as well as Halfa Lake Interception Part 2, along with another LTQ, which is just Undefined Region. Both of these look really, really cool. I didn't skip over one, right, chat? Like, it was that long. Yeah, it just was that long. Okay, cool. Make sure we didn't miss anything. We have the 150 free draws again during the campaign, 10 a day. From my experience, this is 100. Basically, you get 10 a day for 15 days. This is going to run all month. So even if you miss one day, it's not a big deal. You can still go back and collect them. You won't collect them like retroactively, right? So like if you miss a day, you won't come back and have 30. You'll still get, or not 30, I'm sorry. You won't have 10, but you can still collect your 10, and you keep collecting 10 every single day until you hit 150. So in case you miss a day, it's not a big deal. Just come back. Make sure you at least get 15 over the course of the entire event. It looks like it's showing up for the whole event itself. They're also going to be handing out, it looks like, get 100 million experience. If you hit level 20, it looks like just getting to level 20 is going to give you 100 mil experience for you to use. Meaning you'll go from 20 to 87. I believe this is only going to be for one class. Technically, it'll be for 2 because your main and your subclass will get experience. So your main class will go to 87. Your subclass will probably be somewhere in the 70s, is what I imagine. But 100 million experience is insane. Basically, it's a free kick through the story. You don't have to worry about any gating or anything along those lines. They may be doing this. This is NGS, not base game. They specifically mentioned it's N experience, so it's NGS. So it kicks you right through the story. It's a free jump directly through it, so you don't have to worry too much about, like, dealing with experience buffs, anything along those lines. Just free leveling, and you essentially just go right through the story. It's actually really, really comfortable. So some people are probably wondering, like, why even bother doing this? Like, what's the point? The story's not for difficulty. The story is just for experiencing the story itself. So you can go through it at your own pace. You use to unlock zones, so on and so forth. Now it's just that much easier. And I'm pretty sure it's only going to be one time. They don't specify that it's going to be one time. And this is specifically for beginning and returning players. I don't know if they're going to be like, oh, well, if you haven't played a certain amount of time, then you get this, or it's going to be like everyone has this and you can use it for whatever you want to. But we'll see how that goes. It would be nice if they did something like this for base game to make it so it's easy to level in base, like for a free jump. Because essentially what it would do is it would unlock sound classes for players immediately, which a lot of players, they only want to play base for sound classes, realistically. So it'd be really, really nice. But that's something we can talk about, base game stuff that needs to be done in a separate video. Super use the salon to your heart's content campaign. They glossed over this, but you can use the salon for free, basically. As long as it's not something that usually requires a color change pass, it'll be free. So that's pretty nice. Receive weekly super fast fantasy festival gifts. I'll be giving out free stuff weekly, so that's cool. Play in the super casino campaign. So the way this works out is in the casino in base PSO2, you can exchange casino coins or 1 casino coins for star gems, they're increasing the amount of star gems that you get for those exchanges. So definitely worth your time. If you go into the casino, and if you don't, it might be time to go ahead and check out the casino. Super treasure scratch. So they're doing double urgents, so you can complete urgents twice. Have reduced reduced HP, I think like 30% or something like that. But you'll be able to do them twice, and you'll be able to get treasure scratch tickets from Urgent Quest. You can use those treasure scratch tickets on the treasure scratch. It'll be up, I think, for 3 weeks. Then what they say, I think they said, as opposed to a longer time frame that it normally is up. Yeah, it looks like 3 weeks. So this is like weekly segments. But you'll be able to get more treasure scratch tickets a day for your dailies as well. So should be a bit easier. The first week you have Ultra PSO2 Day Infinite Bursts. So you'll be able to get the rare drop rate, the drop and drop item rate, and preset skill rate ups with our usual bonuses. And then they'll be doing the same thing further down. So there's 1 week of it here, and then there's 1 week of it here. So you get a week of it here, 7 days full on, and then you get another week of it if you have premium. So it's 2 weeks out of the 4 that you'll have massive buffs. So if you don't have access to premium, make sure you get access to this for the week here. But if you have access to premium, then you can take advantage of both. So some people are like, oh, dude, pay gating, free to play game. This is to be expected. So nothing that's out of the ordinary, anything along those lines, or that seems unfair, or anything like that. So look at that. And they talk about it in these here. So yes, Ultra PS2 to Infinite Bursts on the 1st and on the 22nd. For a week with massive bonuses, the free draws, the casino reward stuff. Make sure this is a good way for me to scrub through this. Oh, often. Okay, here we go. And then here's where they mention it about the 100 million experience, right? So get a class level 20, train up any class level 20, and get the new item NEXP plus 100 million. So we haven't had experience items before. So I'm not sure if everyone gets this or if only new and returning players get this. But it's going to be an item like a ticket. And these tickets existed back in base PSO2. Basically, you use them and you just got a chunk of experience. Players would stack them up for new classes and things like that, and they would use them then. If that's the case, like if this is like a ticket that we can hold on to, I'm probably going to save this for whenever a new class or something comes out. Maybe we'll see. Enhancement support campaign revamp, reach level 65 with any class to get a 9-star rarity weapon. So yeah, wait. Revamp, 9-star rarity weapon, 7-star rarity armor, enhance plus 90 with augments affixed. This is already a thing. These have already existed. I don't know why they're mentioning it here. I guess that they were mentioning that they revamped it beforehand, unless they're revamping it again. But we already have these. This is just get level 65, get free level plus 90 and 60, or plus level 90 weapon and gear. So that's just like your base game gear, or your base gear to start with. Make sure we didn't miss anything. We also have the salon, the gifts every week they talk about, the treasure scratch, yep, as well as super. Oh yeah, so the super item enhancement support campaign is also going to be going on. So on the 17th, there's also another boost campaign. So some people have this mindset of like, oh, this has popped up, that means we're going to be getting a new version of this. No. So popular, unpopular opinion, but mini games aren't content. They're not, but focusing on only releasing content and no in between content is exactly how you create a shit MMO. And it's up to you to agree or disagree. That's your choice. That's your opinion of the situation itself. But you need to have more different varying types of content, because the reality is you're never going to get to everyone with everything based on one type of content. You have to have different things. So while you may not be a fan of mini games, that's totally fine. The update's not for you, and it's not going to be for everyone. But that being said, so one thing that tends to pop up when it's about the super item enhancement support campaigns is that it's not that a new weapon is on the horizon when these things happen. It's that anytime a new weapon comes out, there are 2 things you can count on. There will be an augmentation success rate sometime in the next month, and there will be an AC scratch support, or an AC support scratch sometime around there is where that's going to happen, right? Like somewhere in that like specific time frame, that's going to pop up, and it has happened every single time, like clockwork. So excuse me, in this case we had our Wingard's release, and then after about, let's say, a month or so, we had the support scratch, and then we also had the affix rate boost, and then we had the Eridims release right afterwards. So we're like, holy crap, dude, why would you have a weapon come right after that? And now, less than a month after that comes up, these things pop back up again. They're always tied. It's always going to be connected. So just expect them when these things happen. If you don't have materials or resources from before that are built up, just wait. These things will come back up again. So keep that in mind. It's been a pattern for a long time. It will continue to be a pattern for a long time moving forward. Definitely understand it. Just one off alpha already? Technically, we already are off alpha. If you haven't paid attention to the new storyline, Nameless is not on alpha. So we're already in the process of working towards that. Super Fantasy Festival. This is pretty much par for the course. Take advantage of all the freebies. Go farm out your deck space or whatever. Even if you do like a daily farm for like an hour, go farm out deck space, farm out the shop. It's going to be tons and tons of useful resources. Get the freebies now because people are going to complain about not having access to a lot of this stuff later. Just go get the free stuff. We don't know what the potentials are on these weapons. If they're basically the shell weapons but better, that's going to kind of suck. But I mean, it is what it is. We'll just transfer our stuff over to them. No, it's not in Lucille. Let's see. The Two Horn Raven from Beyond. So we have a new limited quest. Oh, let me get that out of my face. New limited quests. This is actually pretty cool. So the way they're doing this limited quest is that every single day it changes, which kind of fits into the idea that they don't expect you to farm limited quests. They expect you to have it as something different to do for your dailies. And this is even kind of along with it as well. Just do your daily limited, get it taken care of, get the rewards you get from it each time, and then it's going to change each day. So that's kind of nice. But if you need extra rewards, farming your limited is not a bad idea. New dual quest is going to be added in as well. The new dual quest is kind of interesting because it's essentially a similar boss fight to one we've already had beforehand. Since Venogia, it's basically the big robot that Zepheto used during the storyline that we fought like one time. And that's also one of our urgent quests. So to me, it's a little bit of an L because it's like we've already fought this once beforehand. However, with the implications of what the story is currently, technically this is also sort of a starless enemy. Which would make sense as to why it follows paths of like dolls and things like that. Because if we're keeping up with the story, we know that that maybe not everything was Zephetto's idea originally. So I'll just say that much. In case there's anyone here who has not done their story. Alpha Counterattack Part 2, which is awesome. It's basically the better version of Malignant Falls Aegis, or I'm sorry, the better version of Aegis in general. So it's Malignant Falls Aegis, the 8-man variant of him. So we can fight him. Pretty much something you should definitely do when it pops up. It's going to have 11 stars Eridim and Wing Guards. Hopefully have some good drop rates for the better versions of Wing Guards, or sorry, better versions of Eridims, with some good EX augments, but we'll have to see. And then of course, you know, Ark's record is Ark's record. Do Ark's record. Get your freebies. I'm a little bit sad on this one, but also sort of understand it. We figured we were going to get NGS spec items for Harriet, but we also got her the Simpy Boy outfit, or Shrimpy Boy, excuse me. We got his armor. So armor lovers are eating good, but those of us who don't really care too much about armor don't really care too much about this outfit. They are also bringing back, it looks like, some previous weapon skins. So those are pretty dope. And these are usually available in everything, right? Like this is pretty standard. So those of you guys who play any individual weapon, you're like, I never get any camos, you're going to get one with this. So no worries there. The busts and of course creative space items are to be expected as well. This one is more of like, I don't really care too much. The big thing here is that you'll be able to get items that are used for like preset enhancement stuff. And it's going to be a part of the free 10-a-day scratches. So that's a really good combination. These are going to be really easy to get a hold of. So don't really burn your SG trying to get a hold of this stuff. You'll be able to get it probably most of what you want in your 150 scratches. So super dope there. They also have our obligatory summertime scratch. The big takeaway here I'm almost slightly covering is they just decided that, hey, look, how about we take one of our creators and just make him into an idol or make him into a motion. If I don't see Yosha with this dash, I'm going to be highly disappointed. But we'll have to see. I don't think Varuna, or I think Varuna's outfit wasn't that knight. I'm not talking about Varuna. I'm not talking about that specific individual. I'm talking about just like the standard basic knight. But yeah, if I don't see Yosha using this, I'm gonna be real sad. But idol's okay. All this is fine. It's just the standard beach stuff. Line Strike is coming out. So there's some things that were here that really weren't mentioned about Line Strike. So we have Line Strike's release date, which is the 10th. Actually, I guess they did mention it in all of this. So for those who didn't really understand what Line Strike is going to be, they describe Line Strike essentially as a mix of some things, not really like mechanics, but some things from PSO2 Episode 3's card system or card system game, like the game that they played back then. It doesn't have mechanics from it, but there are some things that remind you of that time frame. It's based on characters that were from base PSO2, so you can see like um wow, almost forgot. You can see Elder, you can see, Cuna, you can see, Luther mix in here, Matoy, so on and so forth. So expect to see those characters. The way they describe it is very similar to mining rig, where you're defending 3 towers, and once 2 of your towers go down, you win. Which is why when he took down these 2 towers, that person then won immediately, even though he still had a third available. Looks like they have 5 health apiece, and I'm not sure how the cards work to defend or attack or so on and so forth, or where they have to go in, but we'll see how that works when we get a hold of the thing. They're going to be ranked battles, unranked battles, free battles, and NPC battles. It's going to have its own scratch, so you will have to get scratch tickets for them. You can spend AC on scratch tickets if you really want to. You can also buy, there's gonna be like 2. I'm not sure if they said you could spend, so the way they worded it was a little bit weird. It could be one of 2 things. It could be specifically that you can spend AC on scratch tickets for them, or it was just the packs. There are 2 starter decks you can buy for AC, but they also mentioned that you could spend, or that there's also a scratch for it as well. And you can't really see here. It says it requires tickets, not AC, so it might just be that you could buy the starter decks with AC, but you have to use the tickets to be able to scratch for the actual scratch cards. And the way you get the scratch card tickets are with vouchers that you get probably from playing like different individual matches and things like that. There's also an NPC that teaches you how to play the card game as well in town. They talk about more stuff here. There's also going to be an official creative space for it, which is super cool. So in case you're like, maybe you don't have a bunch of friends that are going to be playing or anything like that, you can go into the official creative space to find other people to play against. But you can also just queue online or queue ship wide for it. So you don't have to find people around. You can just queue for it with either ranked battles or unranked battles. They did mention that if you queue for it, it's going to teleport you to Alio City. We learned this from one of the interviews overall. So you will get teleported to Alio City, but it will queue you against anyone on the entire ship. So it's not cross-ship content. It is ship specific, at least for now, but you'll be playing against anyone on the entire ship. Also, we have a support scratch. Again, like I mentioned beforehand, these are very, 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 very much a pattern. Anytime a new weapon comes out, if we hadn't had it as support scratch, usually a support scratch is going to come up within the month, even if we've had one recently. So the Aridum weapons released at the same time, actually the week after one of these support scratches ended, that support scratch was specific to our Wingguard. Now we have the support scratch that would have been specific to the Aridum. So if we get another weapon that comes out, expect another support scratch in about a month or 2. So the big thing that you can keep in mind here is that they are going to have the C Gland Gigas Mass Day S for the first time. We also have preset, enhanced, success, and substitute level 4. They'll be able to push my weapon up to level 5. This is insane. As well as N augment transfer passes. So this is also huge. You definitely want to make sure that if you're someone who does go and spend on these support scratches, this is one that's going to be a must scratch. It's going to be insane. Hopefully this isn't super far down. Hopefully this is like, ideally this would be somewhere in the 30 to 40 range. Likely this is going to be somewhere in like the 60 to 70 range, to be perfectly honest. Or this is going to be, but like all of these things are really good. Like these are all solid. Do you need any of them? No, you don't need a single one of these things. You don't need any of these. You don't have to spend any money on any of this at all. You can purchase Anadis from other players on the shop. Gland Gigas Mass Day, you can make your Gland Gigas Mass Day and RNG one at a time. I have done it already. Didn't spend any money on anything like this. You don't need this at all. And then the N augment transfer passes. There are tons of ways for you to get transfer vouchers. This is not a requirement in the slightest. Well, then why'd you say it's a must scratch? Because it's a valuable scratch. If you're going to scratch on one of these, this is very valuable. So just keep that in mind. Then we had the second half. This one I am very excited for. This is the first time in a long time I've been excited for the second half more than the first. But we have Unidentified Region 64 for the limited time quest, which I actually like this one a lot more. Looks like it's just going to be a huge fight where it's going to give you points based on your kills. Rangers will be dominating this as per usual because of their Blight Round skill. We have just the straight up fight with Ruin Griffin. That's pretty dope. They also mentioned that you completing limited tasks will get you Super Fantasy Festival SP scratch tickets, as well as an augment transfer pass vouchers. Like I said, there are tons of places to get vouchers. You do not need to spend money to get a free and augment voucher if you don't want to. It's totally understandable. Save your money. Refined Form July 2024 is coming out. They're bringing back some pretty good cast parts, bringing back a baggy baseware, along with the new mission pass coming back around with what they say is a panda. I'm kind of in the way. You see there's a P for panda. I thought this was a Tanuki. It's like a Tanuki panda mix. It is what it is. Not a big deal. But that is the mag. I'm kind of in the way of it. Sorry about that. And the collab. The collab is too good. It is the Eminence and Shadow collab. It's got an idol. It's got a dash. It's got a glide. I want all of them. It's literally teleporting around. I need to have it in my life. But Eminence and Shadow is really good. It looks like the outfits are going to be they're going to be Sid, Alpha, Beta, and what's her name? What's the princess's name? I forget her name all the time. But it's gonna be their 4 outfits. As far as anyone who's like, yo, I've never seen this before, why would I watch this, so on and so forth. The description's kind of cringe, and that's kind of the funny part about this anime, is the character Sid comes from, so they don't really go into this too much, but he's isekai'd from another world. He's reincarnated, and he isekai'd over as a young child, because he essentially got bored in his original world. In his original world, he had this concept where no matter how powerful you become, no matter what you do, there can always be a power that's stronger than you. And the whole meme is that, like, you could be one of the strongest fighters of all time, be trained and all this other stuff, and someone could drop an atomic bomb on you and then you're done, which is where the I am atomic thing comes from. In his world, he gets to the point where he's basically like in his, I say quote, world, he gets to the point where he essentially is like a vigilante running around beating up people and stuff like that with crowbars. It's really funny. And then he gets isekai'd into this world. And the funny part of this anime in general is the fact that Sid, his whole purpose is to try to become a powerful, or just become powerful in general, to be able to deal with any sort of power that comes up against him. Like he's basically going after the most intense power fantasy of all time. And in his head, he's creating, he's sharing this power that he's gotten from being isekai'd with these other characters. They're all girls. It's very, very, very typical teenager power fantasy sort of style. And he creates this organization that in his head is fighting a shadowy organization of the world, right? I say this in quotations because realistically speaking, he doesn't know one. It's more of like not a suspicion, but more of like it's like a make-believe sort of thing. Like he's building this up. He's using it as a reason to train up these girls, like basically to use it as a reason to build up this organization, and essentially just to help. Like he basically picks people that are downtrodden, that are like that are in need of saving, that like, need help, so on and so forth. Except the reality is that this fake like entity that he's fighting is actually real in that world. And because he is messing around and playing around with the idea of fighting this thing, his entire organization is actually fighting the real cult of Diablos, which the entire time he doesn't actually know exists. That's kind of the meta level of the anime, and that's what's actually fun of it. You're like, yo, you just gave me the plot of the anime, sort of. You find that out in like the first 2 episodes, so it is what it is. Also, holy crap! One sec, guys. Babe, yo, what's up, everyone from Skull's channel? How you guys doing today? Thank you guys for the raid. Appreciate it. Welcome in, everyone. We're going over the headline. We're doing our that doesn't sound, never mind, I'll keep it to myself. I think it's funny, but it's up to you individually. That's what I enjoy of the anime itself. If you don't like it, that's totally fine. But it's a lot funnier than it seems. It's essentially someone who doesn't know they're fighting against an evil organization who's fighting against an evil organization. And in his head, he makes all these different reasons as to why he's doing something when he's accidentally saving the world. It's pretty funny. And his whole idea is that he's just going on a power trip. That's it. The bodysuit, now I want the motions the most. Yes, I want the motions. The motions is what I need in my life. I saw that and I was like, I need all of them. Fuck me, dude. But yeah, we're just going over our recap of the headline itself. So we're gonna jump back into the recap. We just talked about The Eminence and Shadow and why I thought it was super funny and why I think it's a funny anime to watch. But if you're someone that's like, I need seriousness in my anime, this is not the anime for you. It's not. Notice that faction question BS again. So I think that question was brought in purely based on the interviews, because it was in the interviews specifically. They talked about it in the Indengeki and the 4Gamer interview, one of the two. I think they brought it in specifically for that. Those motions are gonna be like 20 mil at the lowest. Yeah, probably. I need both of them. I need the motions. I could probably skip the idle, but I want the dash, the glide, and the jump for sure. But let's get back into it real quick. One sec. All right, but yeah, that's mostly the only anime. So the collab looks pretty good. The outfits look sick, but again, I want the dash, I want the glide. I might have to scratch because the scratch count bonus is the atomic emote, and like that emote's too good, man. Chat, I am atomic. I'm glad they made I am atomic into a stamp. They had to have. Like, it makes perfect sense. It's too good. And then of course logging in will get you these here. It's Alexia, that's the name of the princess. I always forget Alexia's name. They're also doing rank 3 of purple of battle. You have purple alien intruders. It looks like you're fighting Starless Bujin as well as Starless what is the name of the why do I always forget his name, dude? Chat, what is the name of the very tall dude? I always forget its name. He's like one of my favorites to fight all the time and I always forget it. Starless Bujin and Starless something else. I don't remember what the name is. Chat will probably let you guys know. But pretty dope. The new titles will have things like Master Cubes, Augmentation Transfer Pass vouchers. Very, very nice. We also have records for training a Wild Avalanche. So very, very cool. And then we also have another special AC Scratch, 2 types of special AC Scratch tickets, type 1 and then type 2. And then, of course, in the Scratch Count bonus, they include the Lux Hal Finale S. So that does mean that Glenn Gigas Master S and Lux Hal Finale S are now available in Scratch ticket count bonuses. But keep in mind, you do not need these at all. It's a premium game. I'm sorry, it's a free-to-play game, meaning you're gonna have premium things that are involved in it as well. And the Scratch Count bonuses are meant to be very good. They're meant to goad you into spending money. If you're going to spend money, it's a nice bonus. If you're not planning on spending money, do not scratch just to get these items. You do not need to. It's probably going to be high up in the rewards overall. It's a trap. Don't fall for the trap. Then they go and show off what the new system looks like. We know it is called Mars. Let me see if I can get the screenshot. Yes. Hold on. Hold on, chat. Hold on. Hold on, chat. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Hold, please.
All systems green.
There it is. Multi-road arcs reactive system. So there's some things we know about this system that they didn't really talk about here that I'm going to talk about now, just to kind of give you guys an idea. So the way that Mars works, or the multi-road arcs reactive system, is it's going to be a button that's on your bars that you can activate and turn on and off. So when you activate it, it's going to have like a bar that builds up similar to PB. It says it's going to take 9 minutes total for it to build up to 100%. However, you only need 25% of it to activate it. That's the first thing. You also pick between 2 main weapons and 3 sub weapons. The 2 main weapons are a choice of 2 weapons from a total of 4, and the 3 sub weapons a choice of 3 sub weapons from a total of 7, from what I understand. It looks like the 3 main weapons seem to be, from what I could tell, like a sword, a scythe, a chainsaw weapon, and a gun. And then the sub weapons, I believe, have to do with like the movement thing they showed off, like jumping on the board, so on and so forth. It looks like there is going to be a some form of like massive ability that you can use, like maybe some form of like PB or something like that, but we're not 100% sure about that, and that's mostly it. The other thing is that this is going to be usable in all types of content. It is not just going to be specifically for one type of content. It'll be usable everywhere. So you don't have to worry about not being able to use this in certain things or anything along those lines. You can be able to use it everywhere, and it looks like they're updating the game to support that as well. So yeah, Ilma and Faria definitely cooked with Mars, and Cefeto definitely helped out. Because it looks absolutely amazing. It's going to be a very insane level of shift and change for the game itself if this is going to be included. They show off someone using this in Dex base, by the way, which is really funny. So if we go ahead and jump ahead, so they showed off the Mars system, and then they came over to the roadmap. The roadmap has some really interesting things on them. First off, they tell us the limited time. Basically, this first portion of the roadmap is exactly what we already know. This part kind of doesn't really matter. This is the actual roadmap, which is why they included like it makes it look beefier than it actually is, right? They said they won't do a mount. That's not a mount. Mars isn't a mount. However, it is a movement system. So they just use this to beef up the way the roadmap looks. This is actually the roadmap itself. Yeah, mounts aren't Waker exclusive anymore, chat. Exactly, they're not Waker exclusive. So July to September, we've got a new high rank for Alio, which they're using to release. Also, what did they say? It was like Crimson Realm. Crimson Realm is coming to Alio. Lucille getting another expansion, probably because of the Mars system. So things are going to get expansions because of the Mars system, essentially. Lucille's getting an expansion for the Mars system, which apparently is going to have buffs that go along with the Mars system, which should make Lucille really freaking fun, by the way. Nameless City Exploration expansion also happening very quickly. So we're going to be getting the third part of Nameless City, likely. Ordinal Tower is also getting an expansion. We haven't seen anything for Ordinal Tower in a while, so that's super cool. Ultra high difficulty party quest is going to be added in. A ultra high difficulty party quest probably has to do again with the Mars system, so super dope there. No story until a while, guys. Keep in mind this is the roadmap. The roadmap is not indicative of everything that will be going on. Just keep that in mind. This is just an overview of everything we have. So just if you don't see something here that you wanted to see, just wait. They likely are still working on the story. They usually put story in the roadmap if it's 100% confirmed, but there will likely be updates and changes. As always, schedule is accurate as time of broadcast, but is subject to change. I repeat, schedule is accurate as the time of broadcast, but is subject to change. Things can and will change. This does not mean this is guaranteed what will happen. Maybe story isn't until later. Maybe story just isn't finished. And they don't have a time frame that it'll be available and ready to go. It's better to not announce it and have it finished, or not have it finished while it's not finished, than to announce it and move it. So just keep that in mind. That's not to say that, they definitely will put story in here, but that isn't to say that they won't. Limited time quests, there are only 5 of those. Really don't really care too much about LTQs. They're just kind of your dailies are going to rotate around. And limited time Alio Crimson Realm, yes, we have Crimson Realm. Mars is being added in on July 31st, so we know Mars is going to pop in. They're adding new cards already for Line Strike, so that's kind of funny. They have a new line for Line Strike, that's hilarious. And then collaboration with a light novel and a shonen manga. Well, we know the light novel collaboration because they announced it immediately. It's Shangri-La Frontier. And the shonen manga, we don't know yet. So for October, Halloween, of course, new high rank for Stia. So Stia's getting its update. Limited time quests, 35 of those, that's fine. Limited time urgent quests, 2 of those, again, perfectly fine. Limited time Stia Crimson Realm, so the Crimson Realm's coming to Stia. Dex-based Crimson Realm is going to be interesting if that happens. Tector expansion is also going to be in October/November. We also get class race to level 95 and a new item lab feature. The way they described this was interesting. There's going to be a way to use other weapons to increase the power of our current weapon, but they didn't really explain that exactly. So I don't know what that means. They forgot to put Crown Skull's wedding anniversary. True. Forgot our wedding anniversary, chat. What the fuck? And then, chat, there is... Okay, I need you to understand, chat. I have This is probably copium. This is mostly hopium. But when they showed off the Idola collaboration the first time and we didn't see anything for Jasper, I was kind of heartbroken. I'm gonna be real with you. I was very sad that we did not see anything at all. Okay, I was very sad. Nothing at all. However, we have a second chance. There's an Idola collaboration number 2. The Jasper hopium is real, boys. It's there. It's back. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see Jasper. Maybe. Can't guarantee it, but hopefully. Let Jasper free. Bring him an NGS spec. It'll be my new tattoo setup. It'll be like, I will be so hype. Maybe even new. Like, we'll have to see. I make some noise on socials. We'll see. The thing is if it's here, guys, it's already designed. If it's here, it's already designed. This is stuff that they've already finished. This is things that they know that's coming out. So we'll see. And there's also another collaboration we don't know about yet. So we'll have to see. Also, anime based on shonen manga, we don't know, but we know the light novel one. So So in December we have, this is very interesting as well. New type of high difficulty solo quest, limited time quest times 2, limited time nameless city, or limited time nameless city exploration expansion. Wait, what? Limited time nameless city exploration expansion? Interesting. I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. So there's nameless city exploration expansion, and then limited time nameless city exploration expansion. Not sure about that, but okay, cool. And limited time urgent quests gonna be popped up. The new type of high difficulty solo quest, for those of you guys who don't know what the silhouette is, this is an enemy from base PSO2. This is Omega Masquerade. This is one of the falls that was based on the player character, actually, funny enough. Um, and you end up fighting him as one of the major bosses in episode 5. I know, spoilers, it's years old, I don't care. But his original solo type quest had you fight him. Essentially, each time you fought him, he would level up. And he would go from level 1 all the way up to level 999. So you would fight him nearly 1,000 times. Originally, there was like a limited number of times you could fight him a day, and there were checkpoints of getting specific rewards as you go through it. So I don't know what this means specifically, if this is going to be the same thing, if it's going to be different, but Omega Masquerade coming back is going to be pretty freaking cool. So I'm super excited for that, but we'll have to see. New cards in the game from another company for the next collaboration. There's no telling. New urgent quest, Colossal Boss Suppression. That's probably the boss that they're talking about. Level cap raised to 100. Nothing here, and then nothing here. Like I said, this is not everything that's going to be going on. Like February, March has almost nothing in it. So this is just an overview of what we know is coming out, of what they know for sure is actually going to be going on. But this is all subject to change. Super cool stuff. Very excited. Hopefully we'll see some more about story somewhere in this mix. I would like to see story come out sometime in October, December, but we'll have to see. But you know, story's been good, so we'll let them cook. Question sucked. Not even gonna worry about that. Update to subscriber exclusive items and rewards if you have PlayStation Plus or Xbox Game Pass. You don't need either one of these to play NGS on those respective platforms. However, if you do have them, they do give you some extra bonuses and rewards, which is nice. They're nothing too game ranking, too crazy that you absolutely have to have this to get, but it is just a nice little bump and rewards. And then they announced that the other collaboration we're getting is Shangri-La Frontier, which is super cool. Definitely excited about that. Shangri-La Frontier is actually a really, really good anime. So you could look at this two different ways, which is kind of funny. The way this anime actually works out, it's a character, it's so they don't even talk about this, they kind of gloss over it, which is funny. Shangri-La Frontier takes place in a world where VR MMOs are kind of a huge thing, and there's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of different types of VR MMOs or VR games in general. And this centers around Sunraku. I can't remember what his name is, like outside of the game world or whatever, but it centers around Sunraku. The fact he loves to play really, really, really bad games, just real garbage games itself, primarily for the difficulty of getting through the cracked systems or just to mess around with the glitches and bugs and things of that sort. Like he plays a fighting game that's super buggy, that he uses a lot of glitched and buggy games. He plays like a lot of shitty games that he like just gets really irritated at, but it's all like VR stuff. And then Shangri-La Frontier comes out, and he is going into a game that is supposed to be known as one of the best games of all time. So it's someone who plays really crap games that goes into one of the best games of all time. So the irony could be that, oh wow, they're actually they're doing a collaboration with someone who enjoys crap games, or they're doing a collaboration with someone who absolutely enjoys cracked games. So you can see it either way. And that is mostly it. That was where the headline ended. So headline, pretty solid. I'd give it 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I actually liked a lot of what we saw. And the roadmap, I know a lot of you guys are like, oh my God, nothing on roadmap. This is the same thing that they said last time, by the way, guys. Same thing they showed off for the roadmap last time. People were like, oh my God, there's nothing on the roadmap. And then we've had like 2 to 3 banger updates that have had a lot of really cool stuff on it. So again, just chill. If you didn't see something you want on the roadmap, there's going to be more. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this roadmap, maybe they take away, right? That's the thing, is only accurate at time of broadcast, fully on subject to change. They could take away, they could add more. This is just an overview and outline. Just keep that in mind moving forward. The biggest thing for me, at least personally, is this right here. December, January, looking really freaking cool. Omega Mask coming back. I literally just talked about this type of quest with Skulls. This quest coming back is huge. These were an absolute banger of a quest type. There were two of these major, I believe. There was Omega Masquerade, and then there was also Solo Sodom that were very, very popular. And if these came back, it would be enormous, and I'd be super, super happy. So we'll have to see. No, right? Real, but we'll have to see how things go. This boss right here looks super cool too, so I'm excited to see more about that as well. Anyway, those of you guys are watching over on YouTube, much appreciate you guys as always. I have a Twitch stream to pay attention to. So yeah, yeah. Do YouTube things. Thanks to all those who support the channel. I don't think we have any new members as of right now. So shout out to Dr. Thunder for supporting the channel as one of our only members. And maybe some of you guys will join him soon. Anyway, take care, my friends. Peace out.